We want to switch gears now and talk about a crippling medical condition. There's no cure and only limited treatment for dementia, a condition that primarily affects the elderly. When someone is diagnosed with dementia, many families choose to put them in a nursing home for round-the-clock care. But CNN chief medical correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta found a place in the Netherlands that's unlike any other anywhere in the world. Friday in World's Untold Stories, he takes you inside Dementia Village. Here's a preview.
Well, if you walk in here, this will look like just about any other grocery store to you, but I want to point out a few things that are different. You do see the same products, juices, you can buy just about anything you want, cleaning products, but you'll notice pretty quickly there's no prices on anything. And as you're about to see, there's no money that is exchanged hands either. The customers, as you might guess, a very different type of clientele here. They are residents of this village. They all have severe dementia. Oftentimes, they come here with their caregivers. Ultimately, when they come up to the front desk after buying all their products, they don't exchange any money. And Trudy, who is a staff member, is trained specifically to handle people with dementia.
Strange place. Dr. Sanjay Gupta joins us now from CNN New York. Sanjay, what's it like to be inside that village?
Well, you know, when you think about a village like this, you're talking about every single resident, about 150 of them, all have severe dementia. Well, not mild or moderate dementia, severe. They require 24-hour, 7-day-a-week care. One thing I'll point out, Jonathan, when you walk in, you don't necessarily know who is a resident there versus who are the workers. You saw that grocery store, for example. You saw Trudy. She works there, but she's also been specially trained to handle people with severe dementia, as have the chefs and the waiters at the restaurants, the hair salons, the movie theater. So it's the most unusual place that I've seen in that regard. Normally, you're used to thinking of anonymous wards, blaring televisions, lots of medications when thinking about places for severely demented people. Here you have an entire village, so people are up walking around. It just seemed much more active than I would have otherwise expected.
Well, it seems almost like a movie set. I'm just curious about the real living conditions. What's the living situation like?
Yeah, it's fascinating. So it's several acres. What they try to do is they create these homes where you may have a few residents living, but it's very much predicated on what your life was like prior to developing significant dementia. So, for example, if you were working as a carpenter or as a laborer, your home where you're living now in this tiny little village is going to reflect some of the same sensibilities. If you were someone who worked in entertainment or you're more of an aristocrat, same sort of thing. Everything from the colors, the type of wallpaper, the dishware, all those sorts of things. The goal, Jonathan, is to create some degree of familiarity, some degree of comfort. That appears to be reassuring to a lot of the residents.
Now, I've seen institutions where the elderly suffering from dementia are tied down or even drugged just to keep them in place. What's to keep those people from just leaving?
Yeah, you know, well, pragmatically, there's only one door in and one door out of this particular village, and that door is monitored very carefully. But, you know, you're right. I'm used to seeing some of the same images you are, people wandering, wanting to leave. Here it's very different, I think, in part because there is such a degree of familiarity for people. They do wander around the village, but oftentimes they're going into a restaurant. They're going into the grocery store you saw there. They try and really invoke that. And what they find is that people are getting more exercise, but they're also taking fewer medications. They're eating better. They live longer in this situation as compared to other people with significant dementia. And, you know, as one of the women put it to me, they seem happier. That's an impossible almost thing to measure, but that's sort of their goals, Jonathan.
It's the closest thing, I guess, to offering them real lives, given what they're suffering. Sanjay Gupta, thanks very much. And join us Friday for our World's Untold Stories documentary, Dementia Village. Dr. Sanjay will lead you through that unique place. 4:30 in the afternoon if you're watching from London, 7:30 in Abu Dhabi.